Your whole life happens then. John Kramer.
According to these scans, the tumor was never removed.
How much time do I have?
Months, at best.
I still have a lot of work that needs to be done.
Thank you so much for being with me today.
Sure, thank you.
I'm going to start with you, Kevin, first. You've been around the franchise in the beginning, right? In 2004.
That's right.
And this is number 10, but it's not chronological. So can you tell a little bit where this story fits in the universe of Saw?
Right. So this story takes place maybe a short time after Saw 1, right? And then a little bit before Saw 2. We haven't decided how many months exactly, but we wanted to be able to go back to the more simple storytelling style when John Kramer was still alive, so we wouldn't have to include him in the movie through flashbacks.
And we see John Kramer more than ever in this one, right? I felt that during the movie yesterday, that by the way, it's so gory.
Yeah, this should be a real treat for Saw fans who love John Kramer.
And as a production designer, Anthony, what are the challenges? Because obviously there is all these movies behind, and what were you looking for to offer something new?
Yeah, I think again it was so fantastic that we shot in Mexico, because that gave us a new layer. The other part is that we just wanted to be really genuine and authentic. So for me, it was important that the traps were reflective of John Kramer. We wanted to make sure that all of the audiences felt like this is something that he could put together. The other part was that we were shooting in a factory, so we wanted to integrate part of the look to the traps with the factory. And then the other part is that we have this medical theme in the film, so we wanted to have that in there as well.
And I understand that there is almost non-CGI here. It's mostly everything created.
Well, I would say that there is a huge amount that's practical, that was built and that does operate, and the blood is almost entirely practical blood. But our CGI team was very important, in making. They did all sorts of things. They did set extensions. They would cobble things together that didn't necessarily work on the set. So I don't want to shortchange the visual effects team.
Because we'd have pulleys and wires that we would have to erase. Sometimes also, you tell me if I'm right, but we'd have to do some blending, with skin getting cut or things like that. But a lot of it was practical, because we always love practical effects because we can see what's happening, and we had Hosh, who was our mechanical effects supervisor in Mexico City. His team did an amazing job, because we will put the wheels, right, in our traps. We will have the wires, we will have all of this stuff, but they will make it go up and down and turn. So that was the magic, I really appreciate them.
And Kevin, after almost 2 decades, right? So
Yep.
Why do you think this franchise, what is the secret behind the success of this franchise?
Well, one thing that we've talked about a lot, from the beginning, is that somehow the audience, they put themselves into the shoes of the victims of Jigsaw and ask themselves, could I survive this? What would I do in this situation? And there's just something about the way we've pulled it off that dynamic always exists. I think they also like that there are a lot of puzzles, and that the plot of the stories themselves are often puzzles, and so we try to always be intriguing throughout the entire film.
Thank you so much.
Great.
Thanks for your time. Mark, Burg.
Yes.
Oren, Koules.
Yep.
Thanks for being with me.
Thank you.
You are the executive producers of Saw 10, and you have been with this franchise since 2004, right?
Correct.
Yes, we started shooting in 2003.
Wow, so 20 years.
20 years.
What brought you to the franchise back then, and would you imagine that you would be still doing Saw 20 years later?
We wanted to make a low-budget movie that we could control, we could finance, we could, So when we found the script of 2 guys in a bathroom with a dead person between them, we're like, we can afford to do this on our own. And we really wanted to do something that we would own, we would control, we could do it our way without a studio telling us what to do. So we did, and Saw was born.
And this genre has given us some of the most successful and longest franchises, like this one.
Yeah.
What do you think is in the genre that creates that?
I mean, one of the things is I think our consistency, because we have been there for 20 years. And Kevin Greutert, our director, has either edited or directed every movie. Our line producer, our studio executive, and the guy who does our sound, who does the music, Charlie Klauser, he used to be in the band The Nine Inch Nails. And he does such an incredible job. We think music is a character in our movies. And he's been completely consistent, just being a character in our movies. So that, I think that's something that we bring to give people almost comfort. They know they can go to the movie, they pay their money, they get their popcorn, they sit down, and they know what to expect. And we're going to give them what they want.
But you need to give something new, obviously, every time. What
Yeah.
do you do in this one?
No, this one is, it's we go back in time. For the first time, we really see John Kramer. We spend a lot of time with Tobin Bell as John Kramer, not as Jigsaw. He's not in a flashback, he's alive in this movie. He's in the entire movie. Shawnee Smith comes back. It was fun to kind of go back in time and make a movie that took place 19 years ago.
And when you do like movies of a franchise, right? And now it's the 10th. I mean, I think some things probably are easier because you have done it before, but some others are difficult. What are the challenges doing like 10 movies of one?
It's hard to keep coming up with new ways of putting people in traps. It's hard to know where the character is at this point of their life in the story of the movie. You know, it's not like a brand new character. You can create any story you want for them. We have certain, you know, we know John Kramer dies in Saw 3. We know Shawnee dies. So we really had to follow the rules of what we've already laid out, of what was already been established.
And this one was filmed and happens in Mexico.
Mexico City.
Yeah.
And we loved Mexico City. We can't wait to go back there and make another movie.
What do you think Mexico brings to the movie?
There's some mysticism. There's a little bit of something in the air, in the history of Mexico City, and we use that to our best
The
advantage.
people, the actors were great. The local actors that we cast were all phenomenal. I mean, you saw the movie, yes?
Yeah. I
So
saw not all of them because I had to cover myself. It's so boring.
Well, we had a great time down there, and we feel that the whole vibe was amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone.